and positioning your signature product. Tonight we're going to be getting into some product creation, creating the irresistible offer. And not only are we going to be getting into creating that irresistible offer, but there's some very important things that you need to do with that, and it all centers around positioning it and even your differentiation strategy that we're going to be getting into. We're going to be talking a little bit about pricing tonight. We're going to talk about our positioning strategies, differentiation strategies, some product creation ideas and generation. We're going to really get into a lot tonight, so just hang on. If you got a pen and paper out ready to go, we're ready to take off. Your irresistible offer. One of the easiest ways to get started online is as an affiliate marketer, and you've probably heard that several times. You'll hear that from a lot of marketers. They'll tell you, just start out as an affiliate marketer and you'll be, taken off. Well, there's probably been a lot of you already that are on this call right now that have tried the affiliate marketing techniques and started with that first, and you're trying to figure out why in the world things are really not taking off. Maybe you've made a few sales, but nothing really big yet, and you're just not sure why it's working that way when you've been told that affiliate marketing is probably the best way to begin. I, for the most part, disagree with that. And I'm going to be kind of hopefully showing you why throughout this, but I bet it's not too long before you realize that you could make even more money if you had your own product. And that's where it's all at, is getting your own product, positioning it in the right place. After that, once you get your own product, you got your lead generation products, you're building your list, that's when it really starts being effective as an affiliate marketer, is when you have that list building, you've gained that credibility, because a lot of times, if you start out as an affiliate marketer, you do not have that credibility yet. You are not seen as the expert. So when you start doing product recommendations, a lot of people are not even buying from you. That's something when I first started out, I realized that people were not buying from me, and I had a huge list of people, but they were not buying from me when I first got started. And the reason is because they didn't know me yet, they didn't like me, they didn't trust me. But what happened is I had a list, I had my product, and I was able to start building that credibility that I need. So after that, once I gained all that, that's when affiliate marketing really came into play and really took off. Yes, you can get started with affiliate marketing. Yes, you can make some sales, but if you really want to get moving, make things take off in a big way, you need to start thinking about getting your own product. And there's no better time to get started with it than right now. Marlon Brando said it the best in Godfather Part 1. I'm going to make him an offer he can't refuse. And of course, we all know, if you've seen this, the offer that when Marlon Brando, when the Godfather was talking about this offer that he can't refuse, was basically like, he either accepts my offer or basically it's death. We're not going to go that far, but that's kind of what we want to start putting in your mind, is that the offer that you're making, when that customer sees it, well, actually not even really a customer, but when that lead shows up to your page, to your website, and sees your offer, they go, there is no way that I cannot refuse this. I have to have this. They pull out that credit card and they buy. Now, there's good offers, there's great offers, and then there's irresistible offers. And those irresistible ones are what we're after, those ones that really cause somebody to pull out the credit card and say, I've got to have it right now, instead of going out and searching for maybe one of your competitors' products to see if maybe there's something a little bit better out there. Some required get elements, I call these the get elements for creating your signature products. First of all, and we've covered this right at the beginning, you need to start discovering your niche. You need to decide what niche you want to get started in, whether it's the internet marketing niche, making money online, weight loss, pets, whatever that niche is, the area that you want to get started in, you have to discover that first. Get going in something, finding out what that niche is. You need to start researching your target market. You have got to know who your target market is. You've got to know what their problems are. You've got to know the language they're speaking. You need to start researching. We've kind of talked about that the first week or two. But you need to understand what your niche is and who the target market is, because there's going to be different targeted markets in each of these niche, and you need to specifically target the one that you're after and find out who they are. And this is a big one. You need to basically get over your fear, which keeps you making one excuse after another as why you cannot make your own product. There's so many times that so many people will say, I'm just plain scared to try. I'm afraid that once I start something, it's going to just fail and I've wasted a lot of time. Well, the thing of it is if you actually go through the product creation and for some reason it fails, the thing that you need to understand is that that's not wasted time, because you now understand the process. You now understand how to create that. But hopefully by the end of this training tonight, that product that you create is not going to fail, because there's some things that you need to have in place that are going to prevent that. But get over the fear, which keeps you just making one excuse after another. Excuses are not going to get you anywhere except basically stopped. You need to get over those fears. Be able, and that's something that it's really hard sometimes to just step out of that comfort zone and put that foot forward and start walking, because we're really not sure what's going to happen. You've never done it before. Guess what? We've never done a lot of things before. When we were little, we never walked until we took that first step. We didn't talk until we learned how. So let's get over the fears and let's just move forward. You need to find out what works for you. Finding out what works for you. We're putting together a system that you can follow. It's a proven system that anybody can take, but within that system, you need to find out the strategies that really work for you, because once you do, it's going to be a whole lot easier for you to move forward. Now, most people are going to use the basic system that we've set up, but there's certain things that are going to be different for you as you start working through this. I don't know what those are. That's something that you're going to have to start figuring out as you go through this. If something's not working for you, it does not mean that, that the system's bad. It means that particular part of it needs to be, changed a little bit so that it fits who you are. So find out what works for you. If you're not a teacher, you're not going to want to do products and stuff that we're doing that are going to involve teaching. Maybe you're not going to want to do coaching. Find out what works for you. Get excited and have fun. A lot of people, they're scared, but get over that and start getting some excitement. Start generating some excitement. Get other people excited about what you're doing so that they can encourage you and cheer you on with this. But just have fun with it. It's not this big scary demon that's going to, devour you when you start thinking about the products that you're creating. You have to be excited. Once you start doing that, you're going to find out that it's really not that bad, and it's actually a lot of fun. It's really fun when you start seeing that product come together, and especially when you start seeing those sales roll in, and the money starts coming in. It really gets fun at that point. All right, what's an irresistible offer? It's actually quite simple. When your prospect reads or hears about your offer, it should appear to be so incredibly compelling and that you are being so utterly generous with them that they feel like they are totally ripping you off and getting away with it. You need to figure out how you will be able to pump up the offer and make it an absolute no-brainer that your prospect will basically kick themselves if they miss out on it. So basically, think of doing maybe a training webinar, put together such great content and really do it upright so that when people are missing it, they're like, man, I got to do whatever I can, whether it's staying up in the middle of the night, whatever it is, I have to do whatever it takes to be able to make it to those calls, to be able to join in and get the content that they're teaching. So basically you have to make it so they're going to kick themselves if they miss out on anything, or if they happen to walk away, they're going to go, man, I totally missed out. And they need to feel that. So what makes my product irresistible? First of all, we're just going to kind of go quickly through these, and then we're going to take them one by one a little bit. But does my product or service have relevance? Can the prospect see that there is credibility? Is there true value? Basically, is there a return of investment to that customer? Can they actually see that there's going to be a return to them if they take that credit card out and buy? What are they going to get back in return? Does the customer see a risk to them to purchase? And if they see a risk to them at all, they're not going to purchase. So you've got to eliminate risk. Is there a sense of urgency? Why do they have to have it right now? Do I have a targeted audience and the right audience? If you do not have a targeted audience and the right audience, they're not going to see your product as irresistible because you've targeted the wrong people. Can the prospect or customer visualize the benefits? Does my offer seem too good to be true? Those are some things that we really got to put in place to really have an irresistible offer. Now let's take them a little bit, go into a little bit more detail on each one of these. The first one is basically relevance. Relevance is basically, why does it matter? Why does it matter to the customer, to your target audience? If there must be a problem, first of all, you have to do your research. You've got to identify that there's a problem. If there's not a problem, then your product that you're creating is going to solve basically nothing, and it is not going to be relevant to that person that shows up to your site. They're going to see that it is really nothing that they really have to have right now, especially. So make sure that it is solving a problem, that there is relevance. It has to matter to the person that's showing up. Can they see credibility? You must convince the customer that you are the one that can solve it, that when they have to get to be able to know you. So that's why it's so important for product creation, is to build up your credibility so that people really get to know you. They get to start seeing your brand and start to know who you are. There's several marketers out there that you can sit there and name right now that when you hear their name, you just automatically think credibility and that the products they put out are going to be good. And you really don't stop and think about the products. You just know, you kind of look over them and you go, he's always put out good stuff. This is, a great thing. So you always be trying to do your best when you're doing your products. You have to develop credibility. Your customers have to be able to see that. You have to be able to convince them that you are the one that's going to solve the problems that they have with the product that they're showed up to your site to check out. Does it have value? You can solve it better than anyone else, and the customer will get a high return on investment. Basically, what will they get in return for you for taking up your offer? If the customer sees that they really have a hard time seeing that there's going to be a return on their investment, they're going to have a hard time, especially if you start taking some of these courses that are $497. If you do not do a good enough job showing that there is enough value in that product for them to take the risk of spending that money, for them to be able to see that they're going to be able to get something back, they're going to have a real hard time pulling out that credit card. Now, it's probably not going to be so hard when you've got, maybe a $10 ebook, $37 product. They look at that as they still would like to see a return on their investment, but it's not as critical because they're like, okay, this isn't quite a huge investment for me. If I lose out, well, I guess I lose out. But when we start getting up in price range, especially, they have to be able to see the value in your product. Risk protection. Transfer the risk from the customer to you. You must take on the risk yourself. You must remove all risk from your customer. Take all the risk out of the picture for that customer. If they see that there's a risk, they're going to have a hard time buying that. A lot of times you're going to see this in your guarantees. Really look at your guarantees so that they're going to, maybe it's even just in the price. Maybe you're going to offer that product as a free product where there's basically no risk for them at all. Maybe you're going to offer them a free trial into maybe a membership type or when they have 30 days free and they're going to pay for the product after the 30 days. So they have 30 days to actually take a look at the product and make their decision. Remove the risk whatever way that you possibly can from the customer, because if they see it as a risk, they're going to steer away from that. They're not going to be able to, they're just not going to be able to process that in their mind and see that as something that they're going to have to get. they're not going to see that as something that's irresistible when they see that there's risk involved at all. It has to have a sense of urgency. Why should they buy it right now from you instead of waiting and going and looking for the competition's product, something similar out there? They have to see it, whether it's a limited time offer where basically maybe it's a one-time offer where they look at that and go, man, I would really like to go check out the competition, but he's telling me this is the only thing and this looks pretty good. Okay, I got to have this now. They've got to be able to see that there's a sense of urgency of why they need to get it right now while they're on your site instead of coming back. Because if you don't provide that, they're going to go looking elsewhere and they might not ever find you again. They might not ever even think about you again, or they find it somewhere else where somebody else did do a good job of providing a sense of urgency and they took that one and you totally missed out. All right, next is you have to have a targeted audience and the right one. You can come up with the best offer in the whole entire world, and you will totally miss the boat if you offer it to the wrong group of people. You can't sell ice to an Eskimo. A lot of times you'll hear this thing, it's like, this guy does so good, he could sell ice to an Eskimo. What in the world does an Eskimo need with a bunch of ice? They're sitting on a block of ice. What you can do is sell ice, and a lot of ice, to a very thirsty crowd. Somebody that's been in some of these warm states and stuff during the summer, you go to a crowd that it's been hot out all day, you can sell all the ice that you want, but you're not going to sell to somebody that's sitting there with a full ice machine, basically. So, you have to have the right targeted audience. You have to know who needs your product. You have to know who has the problem that your product solves. All you have to do is basically give them a taste to the right audience and then offer them a second glass. So basically that's where your free offers come in, where basically you send somebody to your site, you give them a taste, and it quenches that thirst, and it's so good, it's so refreshing that they just have to have more. And that's what you want to do. And that's when you send them, basically right away, right to that first page where you start making that sale. Instant offer summary. This basically gives the customer something that they can use to gauge the validity of your offer and what makes it better than buying from your competition. They've got to be able to see in their mind basically the instant offer summary. A good example of this would be something like Domino's Pizza that says basically pizza 30 minutes or it's free. Basically, that's something they can picture in their mind. They can picture that Domino's delivering that pizza to their doorstep within 30 minutes, or it's going to be totally free, because nobody wants a cold pizza. So if it takes them forever to get to your doorstep, you don't want to pay for a cold pizza. So you at least know that it's going to be free if they show up after that 30 days. Another good example would be Federal Express. They're saying is when it's absolutely positively has to be there overnight, basically they're going to get it there. You can picture that in your mind. You can picture the very next day Federal Express showing up to your doorstep and delivering you the product. That's what we mean as an instant offer summary. An irresistible offer will have that. They will be able to picture in their mind basically the number one benefit of your product, and that's what you really want to focus on, is the number one benefit of your product. If you can't figure out what the benefit is yourself of your product, chances are most everybody else is as well. So you're going to understand the benefits of your product, but they have to be able to picture it in their mind when they show up, what the benefit is going to be to them. And the last one is believability. Basically, this is nothing more than if your offer sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Now, this one can go either way. You want that offer to say, for them to go, wow, this just is sounding like too good to be true. But you got to put it in their mind that in a way that, yes, it seems like it's too good to be true, but man, I really believe it is. I've got to grab this right now. A lot of products, if you've checked out and stuff, you've went there and in your mind you've said to yourself, this seems way too good to be true. There just wasn't enough believability into it. So when your mind, instead of saying it, you can say it in two different ways. It's like, man, this product's just way too good to even be true. And I'm sure there's I'm walking away from this. Or you're like, wow, this is way too good to be true. I cannot pass this up. So you've got to be able to put it in their mind where that excitement's there, and you generate that where they show up and say, wow, wow. It gives them that wow factor and stuff where, and basically that's going to be, a lot of that's going to come from your copy and everything else where they're reading this and they're like, wow, this is really good. This is really good. And then all of a sudden you just hit them with something that what we call the wow factor, where they're like, wow, that's it. I have to have it right now. This is amazing. I can't believe that I stumbled across something so good, because they're going to be able to see it in their mind that it's actually going to solve their problem. They're going to see that problem in their mind, and they're going to see that product that they're looking at as solving that, and they're going to be able to all of a sudden see that product, that problem that they have in their mind leaving them. And that's what you want. That's what makes your product irresistible. You need to start thinking long-term with your products when you get started out. Now, this is a big deal. Think to yourself right now, will you be satisfied to make just one sale, or would you rather have a customer for life? We've been talking about this throughout our trainings. You do not want a customer just one time. Once you get your customer, you have spent the most money getting them there, buying that first time, getting them on your list even. Now you want to be able to have products in place in your back-end strategy, which we covered in a previous training, to really start drawing them in and buying your products from you. You need to really get them in. You need to start thinking about your products when you're creating them, thinking long term. Be generous. When you're thinking about creating your products, think of being generous. If this means making less profit up front, go for it. It's not going to be all in your front end products. That is not where you're going to be making all your profit from. If you're thinking about creating an ebook and getting it out there, you're going to be mistaken if you're going to think you're going to start getting rich. You've got to start thinking long term. You've got to start being generous with that. So maybe it's in the pricing. You're generous in your pricing up front, or adding a tremendous amount of value right up front and stuff, and maybe at a lower cost. They have to be able to see that you're being generous with what you're giving, because this is going to really start with your relationships. And this is going to really start with the credibility that you're going to be getting. They're going to start basically with your branding, all of it, when they see your generosity. Put yourself out there. You need to put yourself at the mercy of your customers. Once you've got your prospect hooked on what you've got to sell, reel them in again and again. And one of the things, a lot of people are like, well, I really don't want to be noticed. I really want to just kind of be in the background. I want to get out there, get the products out there, but I don't really want them to know me. I don't really want them to get to know me. I just want them to know my products. I'm telling you, put yourself out there, get known, because you need to come across as the credible expert. They have to be able to see that. It's not just about the product. They need to be able to see who you are. They need to believe in you. They need to trust in you, and they need to build that relationship with you. That's who they're looking for, because you're going to be able to then be able to sell them after you've hooked them. You're going to be able to reel them again and again and again. And this is where it really picks up when we're talking about affiliate marketing, is when you put yourself out there, they believe in who you are. Now you can start reeling them in and again with your affiliate marketing and with your other products and stuff that you're going to have. Be creative. When you're crafting your offer, let your creativity shine. I've heard people say so many times, well, I'm not really a creative person. I don't believe that. Everybody has some kind of creativity in you. If you totally cannot find it, you need to really start doing some research with some other products, seeing what's out there, and start brainstorming. Then you need to get together with some other people, start some masterminding, so that you can all start using you can start drawing energy from other people and their creativity if you just cannot get it. But I don't believe that you don't have any creativity in you. I believe that once you get started in this and you really put forth a strong effort, you're going to start seeing that creativity in you start shining, and really let it shine. How creative can you be in your payment terms to make it as easy as possible for your prospects to buy it from you and for you to still make money? Of course, we all want to make money, but it's not all about the front end, remember. So maybe you can be really creative in your payment terms and offer it to them free when they first show up. And then maybe you do something in 30 days where they pay for it. Maybe if it's a higher price one, your payment terms are you can split them into a 3 payment. You have to be careful. You have to be thinking on this, because a lot of times they will cancel their credit cards, or they'll stop payment or something on it before they actually pay for the second or third one. So you have to be able to make sure that you're able to make a profit when somebody just pays for maybe that first payment or whatever. So always be thinking, but how can you be creative when it comes to your payment terms? Can you cover shipping? So maybe you're doing a DVD where you have a physical product. Can you cover shipping that is going to get somebody to pay for that? Maybe that's what puts you over the top over your competition, because your competition is charging them shipping and you're advertising as totally free shipping, where you're covering it all, and they say, okay, pretty identical products, but this one's more irresistible because this guy's covering the shipping. That's more in the differentiation strategy as well. That's what makes you different from everybody else, and they have to be able to see that. Can you send them a package for a 30-day trial? We just kind of covered that. Can you be creative with your guarantee? People have got really creative with guarantees. They've come up with all sorts of them. I'm sure you've seen them. Some people will offer a lifetime guarantee for things. Some people, it's 30 days. Some of them will just they'll read go to ClickBank and read what ClickBank's acceptable to them, and that's what they are going to go by, or Pay.com or PayPal. They're just going to go by with what their rules and regulations are. And a lot of people will really begin to get creative. They'll give 60 days, 100 days, 6 months. It's guaranteed, or I'll set it up for you. Really be creative in your guarantee. So that's a place that you can become creative at. Can you add special bonus offers? You either create them or use private label right products. And I'm telling you, really be thinking private label right products. They're tremendous value, and especially when you're coming up with bonus products. I guarantee you that most bonus products that you get when you buy something over the internet was that marketer finding a private label rights product, changing it or maybe not changing it, and using it as a bonus offer. They looked for something that specifically went with what they had to offer. They put together a bonus package and they sent it out. What can you do to be creative? And maybe one of those things, creativity, is just adding bonuses to those products to really make it irresistible. It's already looking good, but just some added bonuses really makes it, sends it over the edge, so that they have to have it right now. All right, guess we went there. All right, be generous. Ask yourself, do my prospects truly want what I can give them at a low or no cost that will skyrocket the value of my product, and then give it away? Now, that really sounds kind of strange, to basically create a product and something that you've really worked hard on, you've got a lot of value, and then you turn around and you give it away. A lot of people right from the very beginning go, there's no way I can give it away. I'm here to make money, not give my products away to people. If you are in that mindset right now where you're thinking, I cannot give anything away, you're in the wrong mindset. And also the other probably biggest problem that you have not got covered yet is you have not figured out what your back-end strategy is going to be, so you cannot see where the money's actually going to come in. You need to come up with something that is so irresistible, and then you need to turn around and say, here, I just created this amazing thing, and guess what? The real wow factor is I'm just going to turn around and give it to you, because this is going to really, really set some precedents here for you and stuff, where people are really going to take a look at you and they're going to, wow, this guy's pretty cool. Look at what he has given me. I cannot believe that I'm getting this for free. Imagine what he's got that I'm going to have to buy. That has got to be totally awesome. So really be thinking that it's possible. Just turn around and give things away. You see it done all the time, and you can be doing the same things. Bonus offers are another way to be generous. Marketers frequently either don't include bonuses at all, or they pack their products with untargeted, meaningless bonuses that nobody actually even wants. And I'm sure you've seen these products where you've went through the bonus packages going, what do I need that for? What does that even have to do with this offer? Sure, it sounds great, but we're talking list building here, and that has nothing to do with it. Or I'm looking for training for my puppy, and this guy is trying to teach me how to make money online. Well, with his bonus and stuff, make sure that your bonus offers are really show some meaning, that they can see how it's also going to help solve the problem that they're suffering from right now. A lot of the times the bonuses don't even make sense in the mind of the customer. They have to make sense as well as the original offer. They must be relevant. They must make sense in the customer's minds. And a great way to use them and to really give some generous offers is to use private label rights offer for your bonus offers, as we've discussed a few times now. Product creation and idea generation. Before you begin on the actual product, you need to decide what your product will consist of. And we're going to be covering some things here in a little bit of what actually your products can be consisting of. But you're going to want to make sure that you know before you get started what it's going to consist of, instead of just sitting there scratching your head saying, well, I'm started, but I'm really not sure what I'm doing or where I'm going with this. Use a competitive analysis to find out what is missing in the marketplace. Search for weaknesses in your competition. Now, a good way to do this is to basically start looking in the marketplace, start finding out what products are already out there in the niches that you're in. When you find out what products your targeted market is already buying, take a good look at that. Write these products down. Research and just look for as many different type products that are out there in that niche. And the reason that I'm telling you to be looking for them is because you might come up with a lot of different ideas that maybe that targeted audience, either for one, has not thought of yet, or they've thought of it and that target audience just did not buy into that. And so that's the reason that you're not finding them. So you've got to kind of be checking those things out as well. But really do a competitive analysis to find out what is out there in the marketplace already, what your competition has to offer already. Look for weaknesses in it. Maybe they do not do a good job of visual training so that you can do. Maybe they don't do a good job of audio training so you can add that. Maybe their support is really, really weak and you can add that, because that support really adds a lot to making the product irresistible. Maybe they cannot see that as something right now, but if you are known for a good support, the people that are coming to you over and over and over, they're going to see that in the follow-up products that you have, that, hey, if I've got a problem, I know this guy's going to help me out. I know this lady's going to help me out. The support is tremendous. I don't see that changing. That adds irresistibleness to your offer. Come up with ideas based on what people want, need, and what's missing to solve their problems. You're going to be able to find holes in the marketplace. A lot of the times, if you're already exploring those niches, you're seeing things already that are not helping you. Maybe you've bought a course teaching you how to set up websites or whatever, and they're really not explaining the technical part very well. Maybe they just told you how to do it, but you're having problems. So there's a hole there that you could fill in actually creating something. Maybe you don't create it. Maybe you outsource it. You just come up with the idea. Maybe you're the idea generator and you outsource it to somebody else. We'll cover that here in just a bit. All right, product creation and idea generation. First of all, you have to decide on your main goal. And we've been hearing this thing all the way through all of our trainings, is goal setting. You have to decide on your main goal even when it comes to product creation. There's basically three main goals that you have to decide on. Some of them, maybe your product's going to consist of both of them. First of all, is your main goal to accomplish list building? If that's all that you're that you're trying to start out with your product, you're probably going to not be too concerned about the price point at this time. You're probably going to either be giving that away, or you're going to be having your JV partners drive traffic for you, and maybe you're giving 100% commission, or you're giving 75% commission. You're not worried about that money on the front end. You're just worried about putting that person on your list because you know the importance of list building. So you have to decide this right from the beginning. What is your main goal? First of all, is my main goal just to list build? I'm going to tell you right now, this should be one of your main goals, is to list build, because if you've got your back-end strategy set up, this is going to really be easier for you to process in your mind, because you're going to see the money coming after that person's on your list. Is your main goal to make money? If your main goal is to make money with that, then I guarantee you're going to want to have your back-end strategy set all up. to get them coming in, so that when maybe they came in for free, maybe it was a high commission on the front end, but your goal was to make money, so you've got a one-time offer that you're going to be set, your commissions may be lower. Maybe your commissions are going to be lower on the front end. So as you can see, that deciding on what your main goal even helps you when you're trying to decide on what commissions to, that you're going to put out there. A lot of people go, I'm not sure what kind of commissions I should set. Well, what's your goal? That's one of the first things that I'll ask somebody. Well, what's your goal? Is it to list build? Is it to make money? Is it as the next one, your branding? What is it that is your main goal that you have with that product? Because once we know that, it's a whole lot easier to set our commissions for JV partners, or it's a whole lot easier to set our price points for our product. Because like list building, set those commissions high. And maybe your product is just for free. Get that out there. But really, you have to know that your main goals are. All right, creating products can be easy. There are many different types of products to create. This list that I put together right here is just for you, for some idea generation. I'm sure you've seen a lot of them out there already. This is something just for you to start putting in your mind of things. If you've said, I don't know what to create, I really don't know what. Here's a list of products that you can start thinking about creating. Ebooks. You've seen them a million times. You can create ebooks. Ebooks are harder to differentiate a little bit. They're a little bit harder to position themselves in the mind as something being different than what the rest of the market. You're really going to have to work hard at it. It's really going to be harder for you to really price outside of what the norm is, what your competition is with just ebooks. But ebooks are a great product to get out there to you really deliver a lot of content. Audio files like in MP3s for people to be listening to. So maybe you take that ebook and you turn it into an audio file for somebody to not only own the ebook, but now you've started creating a course where they can read something, they can where they're seeing, and they're actually able to listen now. So you're starting to use the more of the senses and stuff. And you're also starting to put a package together as you can start seeing. Maybe you just have an audio package. You could turn around and take that and transcribe them, and so that it's basically you're adding the transcriptions or sort of an ebook style back to your audios. You could add flowcharts. So maybe you're describing something in your ebook where you want to just really show them a flowchart of the process where they can actually visualize the process of what you're talking about there, so that they basically are looking at your flowchart and they can follow along as they're reading, and that after they've read it, they can look at that and go, okay, I get it now. Flowcharts really add a lot of value. You can go to smartdraw.com is a good place to go. I think they have a free program. You can also have a paid one, but you can create some flowcharts using that. That really add a lot. Camtasia how-to videos. Using it tonight, what we're creating our webinar here, we're using Camtasia to record our webinar. This is a product where you can actually take somebody to a website if you want to actually show somebody how to set a website up. Maybe you want to show somebody how to set up a blog, and instead of writing it out in an ebook, you fire up Camtasia, you take them into the cPanel, show them exactly what they have to do to set it up. You take them to the blog, show them how to do a post. You actually show them how to download plugins and get them all set up, to add tags, maybe to add in your all-in-one SEO plugin, whatever. But you actually show them the process where they can watch it on a video. Camtasia is a great place. You can get Cam Studio. It's a free version. Camtasia is more expensive. They've got a 30-day trial. I do not recommend that you go there, get the 30-day trial, and then just end it. I recommend getting it and getting have everything all set up where maybe you'd have your PowerPoints, your training already set out what you're going to do. Fire up that free trial of Camtasia, do all your recordings, get that product out there, start making some money so that you can keep it and pay for Camtasia, because it's a little bit higher price. So basically, get it to the point where you can actually use them, because it's a very, very valuable tool. I would not be without it, and I like it over top of any of like Cam Studio and the free versions and stuff. I prefer Camtasia. It's got some amazing things that you're able to do with it. Resource lists are another great thing. A lot of the times you wish you had the resources of what that product owner had to be able to do that. When they're sitting there talking about create your copy, well, who did you go to? Who created your copy? Who wrote your copy? Who did this for you? Where did you go? It's like, okay, what did you do to record this? What service did you? Well, I use Camtasia. So you add these different resources, create a resource list to add to your product. You can have standalone software products. Web and content-based memberships are actually products that you can create where you bring somebody in and they pay you a monthly, where you drip feed the content that's into those memberships. Software plugins like you see your WordPress plugins. If you're really good at programming, if that's the kind of mind that you have, maybe you can create software plugins for WordPress. Graphic packages. A lot of people have a lot of talent in making graphics. You can create graphic packages or anything that complements a structure that many are already using. Maybe you're a great writer and you can create follow-up messages. Maybe you can create articles so you can put together article packages. Or maybe you can create ebooks really easy. So you create a package of ebooks that you can put out there, and you can offer private label rights to them and even make more money. Or you sell the ebooks, or you give the ebooks away, that whole package away for free. And then you turn around and say, hey, how would you like to buy private label rights to these? They see how good the ebooks are and then go, sure, I'll pay you $37 or whatever for all these for PLR to these so I can change them and use them myself. Coaching and mentoring are products. Those are actually products that you can sell. It's basically selling your services where you're coaching and mentoring people. Offline events. Maybe you get to the point where you want to create an offline event where you get people that you can interact with them offline. You're actually bringing in other marketers to be able to speak for you. They've got products that you can sell at the events. Physical products, books, CDs, DVDs, etc., maybe a whole complete packages. So maybe you want to turn what you have into a physical product. So your ebook, instead of just a digital form, you turn it into a physical and you send it out. Instead of an audio, you turn it into a physical CD or a DVD and send it out. Live webinars like we're doing right now. That you can actually look at and watch and learn from are great products to be able to put together. And teleseminars where maybe they don't see what you're actually teaching, they don't see your screen, but they're listening to you on the teleseminar. These are great things that you can do. You have the recording afterwards, so you just fire up that recording service that you got, and you've got an instant product. It's an amazing way. I love this last one, using webinars and teleseminars, because there's so much that you can get out of it. You can list build using these. You can basically create great relationships with them, deliver content, and we'll get into some of this a little bit more, but I love these. All right, webinars and teleseminars are two of my favorites. Ways to keep in touch with my customers, create valuable relationships, and deliver top quality content. It's a fast and easy way to create a product. You just basically put together your product, your PowerPoints, basically, or you don't even have to have a PowerPoint. If you can't figure that out, who cares about the PowerPoint? Just go to like your cPanel, like we were talking about earlier about setting up your WordPress blog, where you actually just go to the sites and show them exactly what you're doing. You're recording your screen the whole time. I love it. You can go to GoToMeeting.com. It is pricey. I want to say for the full service of the Pro Edition, it's like $499 right now, and I want to say that's a month. I don't quote me on that for sure. Make sure you go check that out. They used to have it where you could get in for like $99. They've upped their prices because so many people are using it. Once again, it does have a free version. Get everything set up. Take advantage of that free version, get that product all set up, create it, get it out there, maybe do something where you create a webinar, you go through the training, and as you're going through the training every single week, I mean, think of how many webinars. You could do 4 webinars in a week. Or you could do 2 a week, maybe 4 of them in a month, whatever. That's 4 of them that you could take them, and at the end of these webinars, say, you could sell your product, you could sell somebody else, or you could sell private label rights to the training course that you're creating. The course does not even have to be done yet. They see the value. Make sure that it's high value so that they can see it all the way through, and they're going to say, yeah, I'll buy this from you right now. So you can start generating some income using these. So make sure you have everything set to go. fire up, get your free 30-day trial, and then get started with it and start generating so that you can keep the service. They do have services that are cheaper that you can possibly start out with. They don't allow as many people. Once you really get going, you're going to want to go for the full service that it allows 1,000 people at least on the lines. Usually once you get going, you'll be able to fill that in no time at all. But think of the amount of sales that you could start doing if you had a webinar that you could sell private label rights to that product that you're creating as you're going along. Instant teleseminars, the same way. Go to Instant Teleseminar. They actually can show slides now, not really your PowerPoint presentation, but you can put slides into it where you download them, where you can show slides. It's not as good as GoToMeeting. You can interact with the people because they can come on, you can mute them, they can raise their hands. It's got some really good services. I prefer when I'm just doing a call to use my Instant Teleseminar service so I can actually talk to the people, where I can open up a two-way communication and find out what's in their mind. They've got a place where people can actually just type in their question that they have. You see it, you can answer it live where they're actually get on, or they can use the phone service. Either way, both of these are great ideas for product creation. Create a content-rich PowerPoint on a subject in your niche that you are an expert at. Click record and teach a way for instant product creation. You can either get people on live, or you can just record them and create the product and then put it out there. Some benefits of using webinars and teleseminars: product creation, product introduction, where you can use them to basically, especially if you have a list already, or you can get other JV partners to send their list, you can use them to introduce your product, where you basically do a product review of your product or maybe a JV partner's products that he's coming out with. Relationship building, where you just get them on. Maybe you just do Q&A calls. Maybe you just get on and offer free content to them to build relationships with your list. Credibility building, where once you start becoming a teacher and they can see you teaching, your credibility is instantly going up. They look to you as the credible expert, that, you don't show up to somebody to watch them or hear them unless you believe that person's an expert, that they're going to be able to teach you. It's a great way. You can use them for list building, where basically they show up to watch the presentation, but to do so, they had to sign into your list first to be able to get the registration link to be able to sign up for your webinar or Instant Teleseminar. So they're going to maybe a squeeze page. There's codes that you can use that you can get a programmer to do very, very cheaply, where you basically can send them to a list. It basically looks like they're signing up to the webinar, but they're actually getting onto the webinar as a registered guest. Also, they're getting onto your list, maybe like as far as Aweber. If you're using that, you can have them going to their name and email going to both places where you're list building. It's vital two-way communication. It's a must to open up two-way communication so that you can start talking with your targeted audience, understand what they're going through. So maybe if you're still missing something, they can tell you. I love to do Q&As. I love to be able to open up with people, because what happens is if I'm running out of product ideas, and people usually will start telling you their problems and what's missing, and then you just go out and create it. There's been several times where we'll do Q&As. The very next day, we've got a product created for them to solve a problem that they've had. We knew what the problem was. We didn't have to guess because they told us what it was. Two-way communication is vital. If you're having product or problems trying to figure out what products create, open up two-way communication. It's a great affiliate marketing tool where you can offer affiliate products, where basically you get people from your list to show up to your webinar, have JV product or partners drive traffic to the webinar, and they can even offer their product as the affiliate product, where you don't even have to have the product. They're offering their own. They do the pitch at the end. They go through your affiliate link, and it's a win-win situation. So basically use a screen capture software such as Camtasia, or you can get Cam Studio, and record your presentation and your voice while presenting, and you've got a ready-made product that is so capable of doing so many things for you. Decide on where your strengths lay to create the best product you can create. Again, if you're not a teacher, you're probably not going to want to teach. Maybe it's a skill that you can develop. Maybe you didn't know, and maybe you want to give it a try. But if you find that you're just not a teacher, Don't create products where you're going to be doing the teacher. Create a product, have somebody else do the teaching. If you're not a technical person, you're probably not going to want to be doing technical products. You're probably not going to be trying to create software products and things like that. But maybe you got the idea that you can outsource and give to somebody that can do these things. But decide where your strengths are, and you create the best products that you can. Combine competitors' products together to come up with new ideas. So take a look at the competitors' products. Come up with new ideas. Maybe you can combine some of the products that your competitor has. Maybe one competitor's got ebooks. Another one does a great job of doing just webinars. Another one does a great job of having video recordings, teaching how to. So together you can come up with an idea of creating a whole package where you can combine their products and coming up with your own. It really helps in the idea generation. Search websites like clickbank.com, pay.com.com to find out what types of similar products are out there. Look for holes to fill. Maybe you purchase some of these products, you go through them, and you find out what holes there are out there. Maybe you've already purchased them, you've been through them, you already know what kind of holes that are missing out there, and you fill them. So if you already know what the holes are, you're going to know what kind of products to fill. Determine what price point you need to enter the market at to compete. Beware of pricing too low. Don't think you're going to go in here and really make it big by trying to undercut your competition. A lot of the times, if they look at your price and go, why is it so low? They're going to wonder if it's even going to be as valuable as what your competition is already providing them. So be careful. If you're going to price low, you better have a very good reason to be doing so. Think Rolex versus Timex. Timex can probably come out with just as good a watch. It's got maybe just the same kind of features and benefits again. But one of the best thing about Rolex is when you start thinking about Rolex, you think as having more value. So think of that when you're doing. You want that customer to think that what they're looking at right now, if it's not in their mind yet, if they see that price right away, they're starting to think, wow, this has probably got a lot of value if they're offering it, wanting me to pay this price. So they're going to, let's take a really good look at it. But think Rolex versus Timex. Think you want your customers to be thinking Rolex versus Timex. Look for private label rights products you can tear apart and use to include in your own package. This is a great way to get started with product creation and idea generation. Maybe you can find some major courses out there where you can tear them apart and make smaller courses, or maybe you can find products that offer several modules where you can take and create several different courses. So maybe they're video recordings and you can add ebooks to each one of those, whatever that comes along. Maybe they've got PowerPoints. You can take them, do your own training. Really take a look at products that offer private label rights to them. And if they're good, take advantage of them, because they are one of the things they're really going to help you do is they've already came up with the idea. When people offer private label rights, they've already researched the market. They know what's selling. That product's already something that's making money online, and you can take it and use it for your own product. You can take it, you can change it, brand it yourself, put your name on it, and use it for your own products. All right, we're going to talk a little bit more about using PLR. The problem is that creating your own product could take you weeks and sometimes months to produce. And you've probably already seen that. A lot of times it's just being stuck of what really to get going on. And hopefully we've helped you out a lot tonight. But this is if you have an idea to even a product what you want to produce in the first place. Many product creators use PLR content for their products, as this saves time and money and gives them access to material that has already been researched and created and is easily accessible. And you should always try to get high quality content. But if you get stuck with some cheap stuff, don't just throw it away. There is some amazing things. I have taken some very, very cheap ebooks and turned them into amazing PowerPoint presentations. I've taken things that maybe gave 10 top tips, and I've taken each one of those tips, I really expanded, and I was able to create 10 PowerPoints and create a 10 module presentation out of. So don't give up, even if you find out that it's just cheap quality or whatever. Add to it, make it better. But when you really find something that's good, it makes it a whole lot easier to get going with. Challenges of product creation are basically no time, no money, or the lack of idea. Usually it falls into one of these three places right here. You don't have no time to create it, you don't have no money to do it, or you just don't have an idea. PLR, this is where it comes in. It's a time saver, and who wouldn't want more time? It's inexpensive. It's usually easier on your wallet. Even if you have to pay a little bit more for it, usually it's better quality, and you don't have to do as much to change it. And flexibility, you can rewrite it, rebrand it, add your own spin and personality, and it's very profitable. You have a very high return on investment on your investment of PLR products. If it's cheap, you really have a high return on it because there's so much that you can do with it. Think of taking a $2 ebook or whatever and turn it into a high course like I was just talking about. Think of the investment, your return on investment then. But thinking of something that's really high quality that maybe you paid a few $100 for, but you've already got that high quality, you turn around and sell it, and you start selling several copies of this. Think of the investment that PLR offers. And it's a great idea generator. Find several pieces and take pieces and parts from each of them and create a brand new product for your back end. So maybe you can use these where you can take and just use them to start creating your front ends, and then maybe take them apart and you can start creating your back end. So especially if you have like a big course that's got several modules, maybe your first introduction module, and then you're saying for the rest of the course, it basically is your one-time offer or your back end strategy. Maybe you take that and you develop several courses where you position it in your strategy where you're showing them, a step-by-step process for them to go through. Find high-end training courses that complement your front end. So look for PLR courses that are high-end training courses that complement what you brought that person into your front-end marketing with. Use PLR as bonus offers like we've talked about for increasing your back-end affiliate products. Recommendations to increase conversion. So if you're going to be doing the affiliate marketing, use them to increase your conversions in the back end where you're offering affiliate products. Break high-end courses with several modules into several smaller courses. Just personalize it, improve it, and market. And I want to emphasize, whenever you have PLR, even there are several of them out there that you really don't have to do a lot. But personalize it and improve on it if at all possible. Set yourself apart from everybody else that's going to use it. A lot of people go, well, if there's so many people with the same thing, how in the world am I going to sell that? Don't worry about that. There is such a huge market out there that there's always new people that are if you do the best job at getting traffic, they're going to find yours overall. So make sure that you're doing a good job of improving that product and in marketing it, and you're going to be the one that's going to get noticed. Most people that buy something online, even if it's PLR, never do a thing with it. 10% of the people at the most, and it's even lower than that usually. Sometimes 1 or 2% of the people actually ever do anything with it. So don't think that maybe because there's a lot of other people buying it that you're not going to be able to compete. You definitely can. Personalize it, improve it, set yourself apart. Set yourself apart in your marketing. All right, here's a quick quiz for you. Are you having problems finding great new product ideas? Are you investing too much time and money and still getting nowheres? Are you wasting too much time looking for your next big product idea? If you're struggling to create your own product to sell online, then the question should not be why use PLR, but why are you not using PLR? Because I'm telling you, it will really save you time and money. It'll save you a lot of wasting time looking for what your next big product is. It'll save you time and money on researching because it's usually already been researched and the product's already known to be a good seller. And it helps you with your product idea. So always, I want you to keep PLR in the back of your mind. All right, some outsourcing secrets. If you just can't do it yourself, but you can come up with the ideas, outsourcing is a great thing. Use Elance, Guru.com, Rentacoder.com, Odesk.com. Go to these places, check them out. We're not going to get into a lot of detail with our outsourcing, but go there, check these places out. one of the things you have to do is post your project in as much detail as humanly possible, so they have a great understanding of what you want them to do when you're outsourcing. Never accept the first bid. The first bid, a lot of people go, oh, that sounds good, and take that. Never accept the first bid, because there's going to be somebody else that's going to come along that's going to give you a better bid. Be patient. Just don't sit there and just, and take the first thing that comes along. Be patient. Give it some time. Really take a look at what other people are offering you, the bids that are coming in. Do your research to find out ask people to give you an example of what they can do. If you're going to do article writing and put together a product that maybe has ebook, have them give you a sample of their writing that has to do with the articles you want them to write. So if you're in the pet niche, make sure they can write articles about pets. Maybe if you're in the make money online niche and that person knows everything about pets but nothing about that, it's gonna come across as that. And a lot of people look at it as, well, how am I going to write these articles? I know nothing about it, and that's what keeps you from stopping. Because you're afraid people are going to be able to see that in your writing. Well, absolutely, that comes into play. So make sure that somebody you're outsourcing to can actually write, and take a look at their articles. You can find interns, local tech schools, and college students right in your local communities are a great place to go. What comes along with these students is teachers. That's where the expert is. They want to see the student succeed. They want this student to get these jobs, to get this experience, so they're going to be right there helping that student get them. Tech schools are great places. A lot of times they'll do it for free just for the experience. Mastermind group members, get started in your masterminds. If you're in a mastermind, you already know the value, because a lot of the people in your group, each one has different skill sets. People on your list. If you have a list of already, and that's another great reason to have a list. Contact people on your list. Say, this is what I want done. Is there anybody out there that's an expert at this that can provide me a sample, and this is what I'm going to be paying? So look to people in your list. Splitting profits with partners works for copy as well. And what I mean there is, a lot of times this kind of goes to you having different skill sets. So maybe you have a skill and your partner has different skills. This really works good if you can find somebody that's good at the technical skills when you're not. Don't think that you can't take on a partner and share profits with. If it helps you get up and running in a faster time, isn't it better to be splitting profits than never getting up and running at all? I've found that when I took on partners, this was one of the fastest ways to start generating income. You got two people coming up with ideas. You got two people, three people sometimes splitting the work. It's really great. And they all come in with different skill sets to be able to do different things, where it's going to help pick up the slack from the things that you're lacking in. Use forums. Go into forums. Say, hey, this is what I'm looking for. Is there anybody in here that's got it? Because a lot of times you're going to find a lot of different skill sets in these forums and people that are willing to do what you want. Again, don't accept first bids. Ask for an example of their work. All right, here's where we really get into some major stuff that we really need to be thinking about. Product positioning and differentiation strategy. This is so important to your irresistible products. Why do new products fail? A lot of people will basically have the greatest product out there. They'll just say, it's like, man, this is the greatest thing. I know everybody needs this thing. The reason that it fails is that your product differentiation and your positioning of the product was weak. And I'll tell you right now, there is nothing worse than sinking 6 or 12 months into creating, especially a high-end product. Ebooks and things like that are not going to take that long, but you really sink a lot of time into creating a product that no one wants to buy. I've done it before, and I'm telling you right now, it stinks. And it 100% stinks for you to get to that point where you open it up, you are looking for those sales, and they just do not come in. And you've just spent 6 to 12 months sometimes creating a great big high-end course going, this is it. Everybody's going to want this, and nobody wants it at all. All right, you need to start thinking in reverse. When we're going to talk about positioning first. Instead of starting with yourself, you need to start with the mind of your customer. And that's why it's so important to get to know your customers. That's why it's so important for you to start list building and getting things going where you can open up two-way communication. That's why it's so important to research your niche, to get to know the language so that you can get yourself out there. That's why it's so important to position yourself out there in a place where you can be seen. You've got to get to know people. You may have the best product and know it is something that makes sense to you. You know that what you have is going to do something great for somebody else. You may even know your customer needs it. But if it doesn't make sense to the customer, they will not buy. I've seen this happen time and time again. Research and communication is so very, very important when it comes to positioning your products. You have got to research it. You've got to get inside, research that customer's mindset, get to know where they are at right now. You can invest monetarily, if you're going to be doing your research, you can either invest monetarily or with time. I say do the time because most of the monetarily stuff has already been done. We've already talked about, when we were talking about finding your niche, going to places like dummies.com where they've already researched, they've paid already for the research. Why pay again where you can just go do the research for free and just do a time investment? So that's one good thing to know right there. Make sure that you find that narrow window in the mind of your prospect or customer in order to position your product and services effectively over a product or service of your competitor. Changing a mind is an extremely difficult task. How many times have you argued with your spouse, your friend, a neighbor, or somebody where you've argued and you each had a different frame of mind? You've each thought of something and you've argued it over and over and over. You've each had a different position. How easy was it for them to change your mind, or how easy was it for you to change their mind? Usually it just ends at a standstill where you look at nobody really won, or you both think you won, and usually you just walk away. That's what's going to happen if you don't position it in the mind of your customers so that it makes sense to them that they have to have it. If they do, they're just going to basically look at that as going, I don't get it, and they're going to walk away. You've got to know where you have to position it in the mindset that is already there. It has to make sense to them when they show up. All right, I got a little graph here, and this is kind of I call it the product ladder. A lot of people will call it your product funnel. Basically, you're going to have at the very bottom of the ladder, or the narrow end of your funnel, is going to be your very first introductory product. This is where you're going to position the best product that is going to have a high value that is going to make sense to that customer coming in. It's an entry-level product. It's going to make sense as an entry-level product. And for that customer to come in there, it brings them into your product ladder or your product funnel. Now, in between there, you need to control as much as this. You need to fill and control as many of these gaps as possible, either with your own products or affiliate products. And this is where affiliate marketing really comes into play, is if you can position them properly. All your customer cares about is that they are able to start from the bottom and get to the top, which offers them solutions to the problem that they're having. That is your ultimate solution. That's going to be your high-level products. Maybe your coaching and your mentoring, your offline products, your high-end video courses, how-to courses, or whatever you have up there. And your higher-end products are the solution where it's really going to give them the solution to the problem. You bring them in the beginning and you march them up that ladder. If you can position an affiliate product in there instead of your own, great. Maybe your affiliate has a great technical course that you can slide in there when your products are having a technical problem that you are not able to help because you're not technical. So you bring them in, and all of a sudden you're teaching them you're telling them they need to set up the website. Well, they're all of a sudden going, I can't set up a website, and this product's really not showing me how. Well, you're going to understand that once you know your customers and you understand what's going on them. You're going to know that you can position an affiliate product in there that helps them out. But you got to know where they're going to be at and what products to be able to put in there. A lot of people will do product recommendation. They're just recommending every single product that comes along, and it makes no sense to the customer, and they're not doing very well in their affiliate marketing. And that's a lot of the problem out there. They're just marketing products. an affiliate product that makes no sense to that customer at all. The more help you provide your customers to fill this gap, all these gaps in here, the more value that you're going to add to them. This differentiates you from your competitors who are still scrambling around at the bottom of the ladder, because they're going to see that you're adding value. They're seeing that you're filling each one of these positions for them to walk up. So they're seeing you as helping them over top of their competition that's out there. You need to control as much of this ladder or that product funnel as possible with affiliate products, whatever kind of products you put in there, position them correctly. And they have to make sense in the mindset of that. I can't stress that enough. Let's say that you have a mindset product where you're trying to teach a person that they have an improper mindset right now. Well, how many times have you bought on a product, you've seen that product, you came in there and you're like all excited, ready to go, and you're like, this is it, I'm ready to go, I'm pumped up, you think your mindset is perfect. Well, if you introduce a product right away about mindset, they're going to go, this makes no sense to me. My mindset, there's nothing wrong with it right now, so I just ready to go. So what the heck is this? Get out of here. I don't need you. I can walk away from you. It didn't make sense to them right now. But let's say 3 or 4 weeks down the line, and they're still struggling. They're like, what in the world is going on? I don't get this. I just, I just can't figure this out. Well, what if you introduce a mindset product right there and we say, you know what, I still see you struggling. We've been going over this. You're struggling. Your problem is your mindset. And here's why I say this. All of a sudden, you can position it in a place where it's going to make sense to them. It's like our weight loss niches that are out there do a great job of this. You start out buying these products that are a pill or a drink or something that's going to help you to lose weight, or they sell you an ebook that says, here's this diet plan you need to follow. You start following this diet plan a few weeks into your dieting, and all of a sudden you get something maybe in the mail or something in your email saying, hey, I got this great product for you to recommend. I'll bet you that right now you're feeling kind of weak. Your energy level's kind of low right now. Well, the reason is because of, that you've been doing all of this exercise. You've been dieting and stuff, and your energy's starting going, well, I've got this great energy drink for you right now. All of a sudden you're like, yeah, I am feeling a little weak. I'm not waking up. I'm not really feeling like doing the exercises that I'm supposed to be. I feel like eating myself a great big old steak or whatever and a big old dessert to get some of that energy back and feel good about myself. Man, I'm going to try out this energy drink. Well, a few weeks later into it, they're going, hey, guess what? You probably plateaued about now where you're really not seeing a whole lot of weight coming off anymore. Well, the reason is because you need to add a different type of exercise into your program. Well, guess what? They have a certain product for you that is going to help you implement that new exercise. And you're like, wow. They're right. How did they know that? I have plateaued. Man, I've been wondering why I haven't been losing any weight in the last 3 weeks or whatever. Well, guess what? They knew the customer's mind. They've followed their customer. They've researched. They've taken customers through this. They know exactly what the average person is going to do in their program. They know where to position what product, and that's what you need to do with your products when you're positioning them. They have to make sense to that customer, and you continue to add them until that customer says, I've had enough, or the problem is solved. All right, your differentiation strategy. This is your action designed to produce products or services that customers perceive as being different from your competition. You have got to have products that your customers perceive as being different from the competition, especially if they're already on somebody's list and you're just getting started out. Why should they accept what you have to offer if they cannot see anything different than what they're already getting? You've got to be able to offer this. A marketing process that showcases the difference between products. Differentiation looks to make a product more attractive by contrasting its unique qualities with other competing products. So the customer shows up and they can see in their mind the differences between the other products they've seen, or maybe the competitors' products that they're already on. They're going to be able to see the differences that they've got, and they're going to be able to accept those differences and see that those differences are going to add to them a higher benefit. Successful product differentiation creates a competitive advantage for the seller as customers view these products as unique or superior. So if the customer's coming on, those leads are showing up, they're showing up to your website, and they see that your products are unique, they offer something different or superior to what the customer is already experiencing, this is going to prove to give you the competitive advantage over your competitor. Your customer has got to be able to see that it's unique or superior and that the benefits are there. Maybe it's unique, but they cannot see the benefits. It has to be something that they can actually see. Most of your customers will be suffering from information overload syndrome. You will find that the customers will only accept new information if it matches their current state of mind. Basically you have got to be able to get inside of that mind. Many customers' minds are building up basically defenses against those huge volumes of information that's being communicated to them today. Think about all the information that you're seeing on the internet. Think of all of it that's available to you. Your mind is already building up a defense against all of this huge volume of information. When you go to a site, your mind basically says, seen that, done that, get away, you don't need it. Or it's like, wow, I can accept this. This is something different. Let's take a look at this. So the mind screens and rejects much of the information that is being offered. Think about a customer that comes to your site that has been maybe seen similar products and you're really not showing them anything different, and they've had poor experiences with these products, other products already, and they're seeing your product as something very similar, not offering anything different. Why would they want to have another bad experience? And their mind is already going to say, whoa, warning here. They're saying good, but I'm seeing nothing different than you've already experienced, and that hasn't been so good so far. You've had enough pain. And it's going to shut down, and that person's going to leave there. You've got to be able to show something different than what they're already experiencing. And again, they have to see the benefit of what is different. It is increasingly becoming difficult to create something new that doesn't already exist in your prospect's mind. Don't worry about creating something new. There's tons of stuff that's already out there. You just worry about creating something that is going to set yourself apart. So if you're creating like an ebook, that's going to be something that's hard to set yourself apart because you're just basically saying, hey, I've got another ebook for you. What can you add to that is going to set that ebook apart in the customer's mind to say, okay, that's great. An ebook, great, but this guy's offering me audio. Okay, maybe that's going to help me to learn better because I learn different, by listening. I learn better by listening to it. Or maybe they see training videos that go along with the ebook. So instead, okay, I've had a lot of bad experience just from ebooks and never really learned much. But through this training series that's saying that they're really going to go into depth of what this ebook's talking about, that's something different that I haven't experienced for. And that sounds like something that I really could benefit from. So don't look for just things that are new already, but just what can you add to them to set yourself apart. How to achieve product differentiation. Product differentiation can be achieved in many ways. It may be as simple as packaging the goods in a creative way. So maybe it's how you package it. Instead of an ebook, you package it in a video course of showing them how to go through the step-by-step process. Maybe it's a physical package, something that differentiates you over the competition. Incorporating new features, functional features into it. We talk about making sure they can see the benefits, but maybe you create more features that you can add to this where you've seen software products or whatever that if they really had this feature, it would really be good. So you put those features in to differentiate yourself. Again, don't concentrate on the feature when you're promoting it. Concentrate on the benefit of that feature. Sometimes differentiation does not involve changing the product at all, but creating a new advertising campaign or other sales promotions instead. So a lot of the times it's going to be up to your advertising campaign or the sales promotion. So your JV partners as showing that this is something different that you guys got to check out. So it's in your marketing skills, your campaign for your advertising, so that when they see your advertising that they say, this sounds like something different, I need to go check check out. Maybe your JV partners are promoting it, and they promote it in as a way that this is something new that the market hasn't seen. And where this comes into play is, especially if they have a list of people that already trust them, they go, okay, he's saying, this credible expert that I've been following is saying this is something the market hasn't seen, but it's unique, it's different, but it's really good. I'm going to go check it out. Maybe it's really not all that much different there, but it's been put into their mind right now for them to go and check out because somebody else said that it was. So sometimes it's not about changing the product, it's changing the advertising and the sales promotions. A product differentiation strategy requires effective communication with customers. This communication comes in your advertising. You communicate through your advertising, through public relations, through sponsoring events. So maybe you set out certain events, and maybe it's you turn your advertising or whatever into an event style advertising, where like you do a product launch becomes an event, so you're sponsoring. Maybe it's an offline event where you're getting together. Maybe you're doing webinars. You promote your webinars as an event that you can start showing your people what makes you different. Think about having a product, and instead of having them just show up to the typical ebook or sales page, that you have them come to a webinar where you take them into your product. Right now, you're already showing them something different, that you're willing to let them take a peek into the product. You're not going to give them everything. You're going to show them some of the benefits, concentrate on the main benefits of it, and let them show them. But you're able to take them in and show them what makes you different, what makes your product different over the rest of them. So you set up a webinar, teleseminar to really connect with your audience. Advertising will usually play a critical role in the effective product differentiation strategy. It's very important that your advertising really shows the differentiation strategy. It plays a very critical role in this, whether it's your JV partners advertising, whether it's an ad, it's your webinars, however you're advertising your products, they must be able to see the differentiation strategy that you have in place. It's not 100% necessary to create a product with actual differences if you can effectively convince customers that real differences actually exist. You have to be able to convince them that those differences are actually there if you're not going to actually have differences there. So it's not necessary to create the differences, but you have to be able to show the customers and make them believe the differences are there. Products with actual differences will have a much easier time convincing customers that those differences exist because it's easier to show them, but not 100% necessary. All right, summary of product differentiation. The main points from the discussion that the students need to understand are: successful product differentiation leads to customer preference from products and services, that your customers are going to prefer your services and products over the competitors if you have successful product differentiation. Customer preferences lead to premium prices paid for products and services, because you now become one of the people that are in the lead. When you start getting these people on your list and preferring your products and your services, you are now leading the way, and it's easier for you to start setting premium prices, where you can start setting the prices in the marketplace instead of just following what everybody else has already got out there, just to be able to compete. Once you have customer preferences and where they really see your differences, they're sticking with you, it's easier for you to get higher prices. Many possible bases of differentiation. In fact, almost anything could be a base of differentiation. Features and benefits, packaging, new advertising, and sales promotions. All of these things plus many more are ways to differentiate yourself over your competition. Product differentiation may and usually leads to competitive advantage. You now have the advantage over the competitors when you can honestly show that what you have to offer is something different and unique, and that they can see the benefits in it, that they have to have it over top of what your competitors have, because now they're coming to you and you're leading the way. All right, let's quickly go into product pricing. Pricing your irresistible product or service is a very important decision you will need to make. A lot of people go, I got a product, but I don't know how to price it. How should I price it? Well, again, we just kind of talked about that a little bit in product differentiation. Once you have gained that customer preference where they're coming to you, it's a little bit easier for you to set the way and start setting the tone for pricing and start experimenting with some higher prices. You must offer your products for a price your target market is willing to pay. That's why research is important. We've discussed research many of times. It's important. Research the pricing that's out there. Take a look at products that are similar to yours and take that as a lead, especially if you're just getting started out. You haven't got the credibility yet. You really haven't struggling with your differentiation. You're going to have to basically stick with what's out there right now. So find out what the market is willing to pay. If they're not willing to pay your price, you charging something higher than everybody else and they're not paying it, you're out of what their comfort zone is. Price you should set should produce a profit for your company or you won't be in business for long. Take into account your costs that it takes to create your product, competition, product and service prices. So make sure that you know what the competition's products or service prices are already. And going back to taking into account your costs, even if it's not really costing you anything, think of the time that you're putting into it. You should put a value on your time. How much is your time worth that you're putting into this? Customer perception of the value. Basically, you have to, the customer's perception of the value that's there is going to help you set your prices. There will be times when you decide to set prices below cost or even free for specific purposes, such as trying to gain entrance into the set market, list building, or clearing inventory. So there are times that you're going to set your prices below. And remember, I told you toward the beginning, if you're going to start undercutting your competition, you're coming in and saying, I'm just going to set my prices way lower than everybody else because I want everybody to buy from me. They're going to see my low product. Not necessarily are they going to buy from you. You have to have a reason, like I was telling you earlier. Some of these reasons are gaining entrance into a set market where sometimes it works to set them lower prices where everybody else go, okay, this looks similar. This one's a lower price, so I'm going to take this one. Sometimes that works, but think that Rolex thing, a lot of times they're thinking prices that are comparable or even higher, sometimes a little bit easier to buy because they're looking at that as automatic value. Maybe it's your list building. If you're list building, trying to get started list building, you might be giving that away for free or very low end. Or if you're, doing some type of, maybe you've got a overabundance of physical product on stock where you do a clearance. Or maybe you've got your list is stale, so you're kind of like doing a clearing inventory sale where it's like, I got all these products, I want to give you a clearance kind of sale type thing. So I'm giving you several of my products or whatever for a lower amount. So if you're going to there's going to be times that you're going to decide to set prices below or even costs of the competition. As a general rule, better products have a higher price. Because they have higher production costs, because you're basically putting more higher quality materials and longer production and creation time and more selective tests being run on your products. So usually the higher production costs that you put into this are going to be have a higher price when it comes to pricing that product. So think about what you're putting into it. If it just took you a little while to create an ebook, probably lower prices. If it took you hours and hours and hours to put together this training course, you're going to start thinking higher production cost because you're looking at the time investment. You're looking, if you're outsourcing, what other people are charging you for their time. So maybe you're putting higher quality material into it. Maybe you're doing more testing on your, maybe it's products that maybe have to do with technical things where programming and stuff where you really have to do a lot of tests on things. So that's going to take longer. Those are going to start having higher prices. They have a bigger expected advantages for clients. A client usually expects more advantages for a higher priced product. So if it has higher expected advantages, you can put a higher price on it. Consumers, without their own opinion, nor the capability of directly judging quality may rely on the price to reflect the quality. So maybe they're not able to really see the quality of the product. They're going off of it thinking that the quality is there, but they really cannot judge the quality. They're just not able to form their own opinion. A lot of times they're going to let that price reflect the quality. They're going to think lower price over the competition, maybe lower quality. Not all the time, but that's a lot of times what the mindset is. If they see a higher price, they're going to maybe thinking higher quality. They will prefer to pay a higher price because they expect quality to be better. And this really helps you once you start getting that credibility. You become the credible expert. It's easier for you to start getting these higher prices and stuff from yours because they're going to prefer to pay that because they're going to know that quality is there. Now, there's an important flaw to consider, is that it can be purposely exploited by the seller. A lot of the times, you're going to find sellers out there, and don't do this. A lot of times you're going to find sellers out there that are going to set higher prices just because they know that the customer is going to think there's a higher quality and they're going to buy it. So they're going to automatically, I'm going to set my price higher than everybody else because the customers are going to think it's something better. And then when that customer gets it, there is no quality whatsoever. This results, with the result that not all highly priced products are of good quality. You're hurting yourself. You're hurting the market because if you start doing this where you got high products, you're saying the quality's there, they're paying this and not getting this, pretty soon you've got that customer showing up to the next product that's a higher price, maybe not seeing a lot of difference. Their mind saying, remember your past experience. Bad quality for that higher price, so be really careful here, and they might not think it. So you're hurting yourself if you're not going to actually offer the quality that your price is reflecting. So you can, have a higher price to reflect higher quality in your customer's mind, but make sure it's there. Don't cheat your customer. Add the value into it so that they see it. Otherwise, you're hurting yourself. Competitive pricing, generally used when there's an established market price for a particular product or services, and this is really the only kind of price we're really going to concentrate is competitive, going out there, seeing what's there, and as far as quality, what you have, and the prices that are out there. This usually generally helps you set a price point for yours. If all your competitors are charging $37 for a 100-page ebook, for example, that's what you should be charging unless you can really say that there's a lot more to value to this ebook. You can show them somehow, which an ebook's a little different, a little harder sometimes to really show that there's more quality in there. But if everybody's got a 100-page ebook, try to be competitive in the pricing. Research your competition, find what's out there. Maybe it's going to be lower for that as an entry level, but make sure you can explain each, whether you're going higher or lower. Competitive pricing is used most often with markets with products that are more difficult to differentiate from another, which is a lot of the time in the digital products where everybody's got kind of the same products. It's a little bit harder to differentiate yourself. That's where you're going to want to really stick to the competitive pricing where you keep your pricing in the same range as that. Otherwise, you're going to have a hard time competing. Market leaders will often set the price that other marketers within that same market will usually be compelled to follow. That's why it's imperative that you become a market leader, that you have your own products, you gain that respect, that trust, you show that you're delivering the value to your customer, because once you become a leader, you're the one that often sets the prices that other people are going to start following. So maybe you can start going up in pricing that forces everybody else to start adding value to their product. You've seen it done several times where you've got used to a product, all of a sudden somebody steps up the game and really adds something in. It's a little bit higher price, but they start setting the tone that everybody else has to follow. You want yourself to be in that position. Be able to defend the prices you've set, whether they're low, free, whatever the price is. Be able to defend that price. If you're giving it away, there better be a good reason to give it away. If it's a high price, make sure that it's a good high price. Even if it's competitive, and the same thing, make sure that you can defend that price to show that there's competitive value in that product. Be able to make a case for setting higher prices than competitors. Example, I'm providing a superior customer service or a stronger guarantee. You better have a way to prove that. Not just saying that. So maybe you've got some testimonials about your customer support. Maybe you have a stronger guarantee. So you're saying you're paying a little bit higher price. But don't worry, I'm removing the risk from that. Trust me, the value's there. I'm removing the risk by giving you a bigger and longer guarantee than the customer. So there's nothing for you to lose. Trust me, they're able to understand that, okay, he's really giving me this. He believes in his product. And I can believe that too, because if it doesn't happen, I'm going to be dumping it back on him. Perceived value. How the customer perceives the value of the product determines the maximum price customers will pay. In your irresistible products, the customer has to be able to perceive the value. They have to be able to see the perceived value. And this is going to be value-based pricing. Ways to create perceived value are established reputation. When you have an established reputation, customers are going to perceive your products as having a higher value. The marketing message is going to create perceived value. The packaging that it is, just creating things like graphics, however you pack it, maybe it's a physical package, sometimes has a higher perceived value than a digital package. A lot of times you'll see somebody offer a digital package after they've done a physical package for a lower cost, because the physical package had a higher perceived value. Your sales environment is going to basically give you a higher perceived value. So maybe you've got JV partners promoting it. So the sales for you, they're saying, I recommend this to you. And there's somebody that person trusts. That gives it a higher perceived value. Adding bonus offers gives a higher perceived value. It's kind of self-explanatory. Testimonials, where other people are endorsing your products. Be careful with testimonials using somebody saying how much money they've been making. You better be able to prove it. If the FTC comes looking after you, a lot of the times, I'm only going to use a testimonial that's going to say, hey, this guy's great. He's awesome. Got great products. I really benefited from them. So, use testimonials that are really going to add perceived value to your programs and your products. Strong guarantees, where you eliminate risk, gives perceived values. Show benefits, not the feature. If they're only seeing features and not benefits, they're not going to see the value in it. A benefit has a higher perceived value than a feature. Add affiliate programs. These are ways that they can make money. If they can see that there's an affiliate program, they're going to go, wow, I can make money back. That all of a sudden puts a higher perceived value on that product. A higher price sometimes gives you a higher perceived value. Graphics puts in the mind that the product is real. So a lot of times you'll come to a thing, maybe it doesn't have a graphic. It's hard to picture what they're talking about. If you see a graphic of that ebook, all of a sudden you're thinking physical book. You're thinking an actual book. Now be careful. A lot of times you can add under there, this is just a representation of the digital product. You might want to clarify that, because you will get people just coming online. They'll say, hey, I thought I was getting a actual ebook in my mail. I haven't got it yet. And it's like, all I got is this thing on my email that I can download it and stuff. Well, that's the product. What did you expect for $10? Well, I seen a picture on it. So be careful when you're, adding graphics. Maybe you want to put a disclaimer that, that this is just a representation of the digital product itself. Sell, resell, or PLR to your product. So you have your product, maybe you offer a one-time offer or something where they can turn around and sell the resell rights, or they can turn around and sell private label rights to your product. This offers a higher perceived value, because they can see themselves as a way to make back the investment that they're putting forth. An obvious and important component of perceived value is the differentiation or comparison customer makes between you and the competition. Perceived value pricing makes you look at things from the customer's perspective. If the customer doesn't or can't perceive the value worth pulling out the credit card and paying for, you need to rethink your game plan. So if you're seeing that your customers are not pulling out that credit card, you're going to start taking a look at what's going on with them. You're going to start maybe trying to look in through their eyes and finding out what's going on. So it causes you to really take a look at things from their perspective. The perceived value is really going to be that place where your customers come along and see your differentiation strategy, and they're going to see you as having more value with your products than your competition. So why not just be an affiliate marketer? Why have your own products? It's a food chain. You have a choice in life. You can be at the bottom of the food chain helping make the fat cats at the top rich. So you can be an affiliate marketer if you want to, and unless you really got a control under it, and have a really good list, you can be at the bottom of the food chain helping all the fat cats sell their products. Or you can be on top of the food chain where others sell your products and make you rich, or at least better off than you are now. Which would you rather do? Sell somebody else's products and struggle to do that, or have somebody else sending traffic to your products and helping you sell them? You've got people that are out there trusted. They've already got a list, and they're helping you by sending traffic and selling your products by recommending them. Which one would you rather have? Do you want to be the worker bee working your tail end off selling other people's products? Which I'm telling you, it's a lot of work, especially when you're just getting started out. Or do you want to have a whole lot of people selling your products, doing the work for you? You can work hard making other people money, or you can have other people working hard to make you money. Which one do you want? Just take a second and think about that. Which one of those do you want? Here's the only secret of success in this simple business of ours. And I'm telling you, it's really rather simple when you start understanding it and putting it all together. Find out what people want to buy and sell it to them. Yes, you can do it through affiliate products, but your own products are going to give you the credibility. Why continue to give the product owner that you're selling the products all the credibility? Gain it for yourself. Please understand that there's nothing wrong with selling other people's products while you're developing your own products. So maybe while you're developing them, you're doing some affiliate marketing. But just get developing your own products. There's a number of people who make good money selling products as an affiliate. I understand this. You understand that they're out there. But most of them started out with their own products. They've got their own list of people that know them and trust them to deliver value. And they've got other people marketing their products for them and doing all the work while they're bringing in the money. But the best way to use affiliate products is to have your own lead products and use affiliate products or other people's for repeat sales to existing customers, like that product ladder. The best way to use affiliate products is to position them properly in your product funnel, in your own product funnel, on your own product ladder, where you've got your customers going up there and you position affiliate products in there. In summary, make your offer irresistible. Make it worth the effort to the customer to place the order. Transfer the risk from the customer to you and add a sense of urgency. These things are important. These things especially are important to make it irresistible. Transfer the risk to you and add a sense of urgency that they have to have it now. Not many websites truly have irresistible offers, which means you have plenty of room to differentiate yourself from the competitors. Don't think that it's going to be something that's really hard for you to do, because there's not a lot of websites that already have a truly irresistible offer, which leaves a lot of room for you. You've just got to do your research. You just got to get started, and you're going to find out that you're going to do just extremely well. Believe in yourself and just get doing it. Think in reverse. Instead of starting with yourself, start with the mind of your customer. Get to know your customer. List build, people. List build. Get to know your customers. Get to know who they are. Do your research. You may have the best product and know it's something that makes sense to you and that your customer really needs it. But if it doesn't make sense to the customer, they will not buy, guaranteed. The type of irresistible offers you create are limited only by your imagination. So now's the time to start brainstorming about yours. It's only limited by your imagination, the type of irresistible products that you can create. We've covered many different things that you can get started doing, different examples. We've kind of showed you what you need to be doing and what you need to be thinking while you're doing this, some different ways to research and explore. Just get started. Start brainstorming. If you can't figure it out, get with other people. Brainstorm. Have other people help you do the brainstorming and research. Just get out there and get things done. Start your own products. Don't let fear overtake you and keep you from doing things. It's very vital to get started, because you need to be the credible expert that people turn to for your own products instead of depending on you to give them everybody else's. It's okay to put in affiliate products, but you need to be the credible expert in order to really build a good, strong, long-term business with a good, solid foundation to get people in.